Well, can you believe it? Another trading day is coming to a close. July the 9th is just about behind us. Um, Depending on what the E-mini does, probably over in the financials too. Financials usually don't do much from 2 to 4 Central unless a good portion of that market is caught on the wrong side of the market after a major news piece. So we came in this morning wanting to sell 64, 66. We had our first buy at 55 and we had our second buy at 50. So this was our buy area. And we got a good trade on the buy side out of here. On a VTOP, we talked through this trade here. We talked through the trade off of that bar. I lost my software here on a crash, so we scratched that trade. This is another good trade. That was another good trade. And then off the bottom out of our 2055 area, we got a good trade up to the top. Head and shoulders pattern here. Market begins to sell. Market begins to sell. And just below 45, we found buyers, and that's where we were looking to buy it yesterday, the 45-47 area. So good day of trading the E-mini. Market operated pretty close to plan. We always like to see that. I think this market will hinge or swing on what happens with China overnight. There's no news to speak of overnight. Tomorrow we have wholesale trade. I think the Greek deadline is Sunday or else. The markets will be set up. It looks like we still have a buyer below 2040. We didn't get a chest. The seller at 2075 plus today. But again, even after that real strong rally overnight in everybody's market, including the E-mini, we had to trade right this morning, finding a place to get short. Okay, we have an inside day. We definitely have a buyer below 40. Clearly a seller above 75, and today the seller was we had resistance at 65 to 75, and our first sell band was 65 to 70. So this one worked out well. Inside day usually means trading range the next day without a major piece of news, so the direction of the Chinese market should impact our trading tomorrow. Looking at the F2 screen, where we confirm our idea, and our idea is trading range. What does the F2 screen tell us? Well, it's pretty square. We got volume here at 51, we have volume at 57.50, and we have volume at 63. So this one has trading range written over it too. So our first sell will be in what was our first little band of support this morning. First sell will be in the 55 area. And then our second sell will be in the 60 to 62 area. Trying to pick up this E period high right there. Got an F period high at 59. So kind of split the difference on them. Maybe a 59.61 would make a little more sense. For sell 2. No news to speak of tomorrow, wholesale trade. On the buy side, 45.47 buy 1 and 40.42 buy 2. And that's it for the E-mini. On the moving on to the note here, we had the 30-year auction today, which was not a good one, and the market reflected that. Usually after the auction is over, we have a pause day. So the 30-year is just getting slammed, and that's what makes it so great to trade, is the extra range and volatility. We're looking at 2-point days damn near every day. So here's the 10-year lower high, lower low, looking for a place to sell it off the F1 screen. That's the way we start our analysis. This is where the idea comes from. And looking at the F2 screen, multiple double distribution down, got a pretty clean break in the 25 area. We're currently at 21. So this 24, 28 area, sell failure there. I think a lot of it will be dependent upon what happens with the indexes overnight. Then 31 to 03 will be sell 2. On the buy side, we had this volume area that we talked about this morning. Didn't quite make it to that, so we'll make 17.13 buy 1 on the idea that we'll have a pause day tomorrow. We'll put a question mark at 21. A lot of it will depend on what happens on the E-mini until the close, and then 5 to 9 will be buy 2. Looking at the 30, and listen, if you haven't, I know I sound like a broken record, but there's a lot of opportunity here. Once learn it on the 10-year, then go put it into practice on the 30-year. I mean, it's a hell of a contract. In the day session only, a high of 53.05, a low of 51.14. That's 2.5 points plus. That is a big market. Anything works in that trading environment. Moving averages, stochastics, it's just there. MACD, well, stochastics may not because it's a bracketed strategy. But listen, folks, this is, if you haven't discovered the bond, you need to do yourself a favor. Got volume right here that we thought we might have a chance of getting to if we broke this area right here. Didn't quite make it. So we got a trading target down here in the 51.08, 51.12 area right down here. And we are pointed lower. So we got volume here at 9. So we'll make 5 to 9 buy 1. And it might take a 17 to get in. We're just going to try to do it on the cheap side. Not a very good auction. Had a big tail. And then we'll make 01 to 29 by 2. Question mark in this 17 to 13 area. On the sell side, sell failure to take out 24, 28. And then our backup sell is going to be the 3 to 7 area, where we should have been on the opening this morning as opposed to 7 to 11, although it was a point higher. Big market. There's a lot of opportunity here for you. It's just now the E-mini beyond a doubt is the toughest market to trade because of all the games that are played. The NYSE, the market actually starts in almost every market out there. Futures lead cash because the price discovery is much cheaper. But in the E-mini, cash leads. Starts at the NYSE. Does not start on the screens in Chicago. And you have to remember that. And Drewski today pointed out that the advanced decline line was counter everything that was going on in the market. And that will happen. And the issue is who eventually ends up winning it. And today Chicago ended up winning it. But this is a fascinating game. It's different every day. It's similar. It looks the same, but that's what makes it really so captivating. Is that you really do have to play for things that are just a little bit different each day. Okay, higher low, higher high. Okay to be a buyer. Definitely have a seller. 68 to 70. The gold is still acting like they're going to get some sort of deal that Greece will not fall off the cliff into the abyss. So guys are pretty good traders. And we're looking at a B here, so we have a split, and that usually means trading range. So if F1, F2 are not in agreement, trading range. So 65, 67, sell 1. 70 plus or minus, sell 2. On the buy side, 55, 57 is support, buy 1. And then 50 plus or minus, buy 2. Can't see anybody dumping gold. I mean, everybody's thought, including myself, that we were going to have a deal between Greece and the EU before this weekend, but we haven't gotten one yet. And I think the markets certain markets are on hold until that deal is signed, or whatever deal they come up with is signed. Crude oil had a good day today, and you can't just looking at this from a bar chart standpoint, higher low, 2 higher lows, going to retest resistance anyway, and that's pretty much what happened. Higher low, higher high means it's okay to be a buyer. Got a very, very clean break in the market up here at 54. Those 54, 55 areas where the sellers are now. Buyers, hard to say, definitely below 45. I thought they would get stops below 50. I still think they are, but it certainly hasn't happened to date. Not this week. I thought we might have them today. Okay, inside the value area right here, it's pretty square. If you look at it on a volume basis, inside the value area, leaning long. So we got a seller above 53 and a quarter. So 53 and a quarter, 53.50, so on. It's where resistance is. Pick up this spot over here, 53.75, 54 for sell 2. And we're picking up on the left side this resistance area. On the buy side, 52.50, 52 and a quarter, it's where support is. That's where we wanted to buy it today. Worked out pretty well. Then we'll make it 51.75, 52 for buy 2. Okay, when we sit down and we get to analyzing different markets and the rest of it. Remember, sometimes when you first start out, it's half hour to an hour, usually an hour when you first start out. As you get better and as you read the profile and as you are on top of the fundamentals or the context of the market, you can get it down pretty darn fast. If you're writing a research piece on it, it still takes me about 20 minutes, 25 for each market that I cover to put that out. But just looking at the F2 chart and the F1 chart, it's you can come to a pretty solid conclusion. Be right most of the time if you can read the profile in 5 minutes, give or take. And Don Jones on his website has a great service that shows you the markets that are really volatile and moving. And if you can read the profile, and if you can go to our F4 screen and pull off the rotations between the pivot highs and pivot lows, you can trade any market quickly because of your ability to read the profile and to know what the average rotation is. And that's cool. That'll save you a lot of time, and as you get better at this, you'll be able to cover more markets because markets go dead. I mean, the E-mini has just been the pits to trade a couple times this year. One lasted about 6 weeks. Last fall for a couple of months, it was a very difficult trade. No volatility, nothing to work with. The euro, higher low, higher high. It says it's okay to trade from the long side. I really don't believe it, but that's what it says. And so I'm guessing a trading range tomorrow because of the until the Greek problem is resolved. So we'll see where resistance is. Now this is counter. We've got a double distribution. If you do an E-split, it's lower. Why would I do an E-split? Steve, I go to the longest line of letters, I left click, and there's my split. It comes right out of the middle. So it looks like a trading range to me. We're a buyer in this 110 area. A 10, 10, 10, buy 1. 975, we've worked that number a lot of times, buy 2. On the sell side, maybe 60 to 70. Excuse me, 65, 75. Then 111 will be sell too. And that's it for July the 9th, 2015. I will see all of you bright and early in the morning. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll go shake that money tree once again tomorrow morning. I'm out of here.